Hello everybody, I'm Brian and this is Creative and we're going to get started today with some awesome thing here. What I have is a piece of panel board. Panel board, you know, you can pick up at your Home Depot or your Menards or Lowe's or any home improvement store that you may have near you. It's the kind of paneling you put on the side of the wall to make it all pretty. As an example here, I have one that I haven't done all kinds of stuff to. Let me find one here. There we go. It looks very much like this. This is just a plain old panel board. I've cut it. I'm not going to go through the process of cutting it. I use a big round circular saw and just with sound effects and all, because it's really loud, and not that it's not loud in here. When we get started going, it will be extremely loud, so the volume will be killed on that one because I don't want to blow your eardrums out. And it's quite loud. But what I've done on this piece of panel board right here is I took some aluminum tape. Now this aluminum tape, it's pretty common stuff. I have picked it up at Walmart. It's, you know, just aluminum tape. The back has got some paper on it that keeps the sticky. It's not like duct tape in the sense, although I do think they use it for ducks, or they use it for all kinds of things. However, it's great for crafts. It makes things look metal. So if you have something that's not metal, you put this on and it looks metal. I understand you can brush this. I do watch some awesome channels that Adam Savage is awesome and that tested. I love that. So, but we have this piece of panel board that has been aluminumized. I don't know the word for it. Aluminized. I put some metal tape on it. What we're going to do today is we're going to take this awesome metal tape here on this panel board, and I'm going to try to engrave it. I have some cool stuff here that I'm going to try to engrave it with. It's a picture I found online with Star Wars. As you might be able to tell, I'm kind of a Star Wars fanatic. I love Star Wars. Everyone I associate with loves Star Wars because Star Wars is awesome. So I'm going to try to create in this a little bitty icon of a stormtrooper that says your empire needs you. I don't know who created it at first, so kudos to that person. It is awesome. It's just a picture I found. I loved it, and I want to try to take that and put it on this here to make it something I can hang up on a wall or something else. So I imagine I could probably do something else with it, but I do want to say kudos to the person who actually made that initially, and of course to Disney, who owns LucasArts, who made Star Wars possible. So awesome. I don't own any copyrights on any of that. That is all them, the people who created the picture, as well as the people who, Disney, who made Star Wars. This is really reflective, as you can see. Whoa, I can get a tan just sitting in the sun, except this is a lamp, so probably not get a tan. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to toss this in. I'm going to be working in Photoshop as we take the picture and try to fit it to this. So for starters, what I need to do is I need to take out my handy dandy, fantastical, awesome technological item. This will blow your mind. A ruler. Yep, just plain old ruler. Because I need to know how big this is. This is roughly about 4 inches by, I already know this is roughly about 12 inches. It's a little less because apparently my cutting isn't so exact. It makes a lot of sawdust, and I'm not all that exact on things, like most of you probably aren't either. So even though I drew lines and stuff, I don't necessarily hit the lines. I'm one of those people who can't necessarily draw the lines. So we've got 4 by 12 here. I'm not going to make, of course, a 12 inches, but I would like to make multiple things in this to see if we can come out with some awesomeness. We're going to be using K40 Whisper, which is an awesome program for doing the K40 laser engraver cutter. It's over here to my right. We will be going in. I'm going to be showing you the process as it's cutting. I don't know if it will cut through this. I imagine it will, considering how powerful it is. But we'll find out, and we'll see what it looks like. I have no idea what this was going to come out looking like. I know I like this metallic finish here, and I think it would be awesome to have that metallic finish come out and show this awesomeness with the black, because the picture that I'm going to be using is just pretty much a black and white picture, and I think it would be really cool to have that engraved in this, so I could, you know, take this and maybe put it somewhere cool, like I can give it to my son even. We'll see. I might brush it. Apparently you can take some steel wool and go, and I'm hoping a Brillo pad will work to make it sort of a dusty brushed metal look. So we're going to go ahead and, without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get started on creating a cool item. Again, there won't be any volume on that. I'll probably do some voiceovers on it as we go forward. So let's go ahead and start. Okay, so it looks like the picture I'm using, I was trying to give credit to who made it, but I couldn't tell you because it looks like it's used everywhere. This picture is apparently pretty darn popular, so whoever created, kudos on making that. It is awesome. It's an awesome picture. We're going to go ahead and we're going to create new, or actually we can just, 4x4 inches here, right? So this is the size that we're going to be using. Let's go ahead and open our Empire picture. This is the one I just pulled it off of Google Images. It's the one we just saw there. What we're going to do here is resize this thing. First off, what we want to do is take this and make it a smart object, because when you resize things in Photoshop, they tend to lose quality, and I don't really want to lose the quality I've got here. Granted, it's just a black and white vector image. It's very plain. There's nothing really that stands out about it as being complicated or anything of that nature. But this is the kind of one I want to do because of the foil. I want to be able to make it I want to make it work. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the scale on this, and I'm going to shrink it way down, like about there. Right? Since it's a smart object, it's kept all of the quality that it had initially. I'm going to drag it over to our 4.4 inch. As you see, Photoshop is really awesome with putting that line right there to tell us that we are centered in it. We can close this original image because we don't need that anymore. So we've got this one, which is 4x4 inches. It is not black and white, but I mean, well, it's color. It's not grayscale, but that's okay. We can desaturate it if we need it to be, but it is a black and white picture, so there's really no need. There's only blacks and whites, and I don't even think there's grays involved in this one. So with this one saved, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take this picture and we're going to move it on into Inkscape. Inkscape is the program which we use to create the SVG files which the K40 laser will accept and utilize. So let's go ahead and save as, and then we're going to save this sucker as the Empire project. Let's see, Empire project. Oh, project. And we need to save it as a JPEG, so it will work that way. So there we go. We're going to save it as maximum, and our process in this one is completed. We finished this part. Let's move on to the next part, which is going to be in Inkscape. Okay, now we find ourselves located inside of Inkscape. Inkscape is the program we use. This is a free program. You can download it online. It is awesome. So we've got a new document opened up here. We're going to go File. We're going to import because we want to import that picture. We named it Empire Project. So let's see, Empire Project right there. There's our JPEG. We've already got the size as we want the size to be. This page isn't going to matter because what we're going to do is we're going to pop on over here to Edit and Resize Page to Selection. We're also going to go to View because I'm imagining some people can see that little bitty thing, but I'm blind, so no, I can't. Okay, once we got this, we're going to pop on over here. We're going to come up. Now the K40 laser uses a 255 on the red on the RGB value. So what we're going to do is create a outline that we want to cut this out in. So I'm going to take this. All right. Hello. Oh, yeah. Well, now it opens up. Okay, we want to just come over here. There we go. And we want to draw a line right here. Okay. I don't want it to be quite like that. So we'll just come in and move these things in a little closer, like this. I want it to be roughly where it is. I like the height though. let's round those corners. So you see that my rectangle here has got rounded corners, but I want those corners to be a little more rounded. I could not find anything to answer this a little bit better, but we are going to. That was my phone ringing there. We're going to go ahead and make this work a little bit better. So let's hit this button over here. For some reason, it's not working. It doesn't like me today. When I do this and I click on this, it shows me these two little dots here, and I can pull one down, and it'll make the whole thing just a little bit more round, and I like that round. Okay, so with that rounded out, we can go over here to stroke and paint. We can see that we're set at 255 with a 0.93. We can just do that at 1 millimeter. Okay, 1 millimeter outline. So that's exactly what we want it to be. Let's go ahead and go with that. I don't necessarily know why my computer has decided to run like molasses, but it decided it wanted to. So let's go somewhere. Let's save as. We're going to save this as Empire Project without the JPG. Okay, Empire Project. We'll go ahead and we're going to save that, and let's go on into K40 Whisper. Okay, now we find ourselves in K40 Whisper. This is the program that's going to let us go ahead and send the commands over to the printer. I don't have the printer turned on right now. Once I do, it's very, very, very loud, so you won't be able to hear me anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get this all set up right here first. In Inkscape, as you recall, we went ahead and we saved our file. So I'm going to pop in here, and I'm going to open up the Empire Project SVG file. It's going to load up in here. And there we have it. I'm going to change our raster engrave to 300 because I like speed. And our settings, I'm going to go to advanced settings, and I'm going to set my vector cut to 2 times. We might need 3, but I'm going to go with 2 for right now, and then I'm going to hide that. So here we are. When we go in, though, I'm going to move this down a little bit. But for right now, since we don't have the printer on, I'm going to go ahead and leave it sitting at this point. You'll be able to see this shortly as I send this over. I just click the raster engrave button there, and it will shoot it on over to the engraver, where we will go ahead and start engraving this and see if it works or if it fails. Because remember, failure is part of being creative. So let's go ahead and find out. Okay, we've moved on over to the K40 laser cutter here now. And I've got this thing set up. As you can tell, I have an air assist on there that helps to make the laser not like catch fire when it's burning through things, or to have it. It just makes it a little bit better of quality. Behind that is a chain, and there's a tube that comes through. The reason the volume is off is because I have that hooked to a. The tube comes back and around and out through the other side, and that actually hooks to a pump that you would use to inflate a mattress or something. It was interesting to get that hooked up, kind of different, but I did get it hooked up. It is hooked up, and so here we are. We are at the laser, and we're trying to engrave, and I can look at this right now and say, no, it's not seeming to work. I have it set at 30% power, and it doesn't seem like it's doing it. So I go over and I go ahead and stop that, because that just doesn't seem to be working. So the laser goes back to the initialization, and then I have to walk over and move it down a little bit, and then I'm going to have to go ahead and reset where this starts from, because I don't really know. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the laser test here. It shoots a little dot down so I can see, and so I have to move it. Okay, let's move this over a little bit. There's my hands. Okay, and let's hit it. Boom. All right, still not quite there. Let's move it just a little bit more. About right there, perhaps. That looks pretty good from my standpoint, from which is right now from yours, looking at the video. So this looks good. I'm going to jack it up to 90% power. This is a 40-watt CO2 laser, so let's see if this can go ahead and cut through the aluminum foil. The answer is, I already know the answer, but I'm not going to tell you yet, because this is a process and an adventure, and I already know the answer because I've already done it, and I'm doing this voiceover after the fact. So Here we go. Now we're going to go ahead and start again. The laser is slamming into that aluminum foil, and it's doing absolutely nothing. It's not even marking it, scratching it, denting it. It's doing nothing to it at all at 90% power, which means the K40 laser cannot cut aluminum foil tape. It just can't do it. Now the big question is, how am I going to get this tape off of this panel so I can still use it? However, we've determined this one is a failure. Well, not everything can be a success, so failure it is. It didn't seem to work out very well. As you can see here, nothing. Not a scratch. This is impervious to K40 laser beams. Maybe if you were getting attacked by aliens, you could go and save yourself. With this impenetrable aluminum foil tape that is resistant to all lasers. So this project, failure. They do sell laser engraving foil. I don't have any. You have to order it online. I haven't ordered any. So I don't have any. I was just hoping this might work. This does not work as far as engraving this or cutting it or doing much of anything else on it. So I'm going to have to figure out how to get this off if I don't want to waste this wood. And you know what? One of the things about this is that it sticks really, really well. So I have to be very careful as I sort of peel this off. Oh, it's going to, you know what? This is permanently going to be like this. Maybe I can turn it over and cut out foil shapes or something on it. But this is not an idea that's going to work. So save yourself some time, save yourself some money. The foil tape is good for a lot of different things. It's just not apparently good for this. So until next time, I am Brian, and this is Creative. And remember, always, let's get creative.